Women are astonishing beings, and denying that is impossible. But there are some whose stories and destinies lift them to a completely new level. Some of them are so unusual that at times it seems they are not from this world at all. Today, you will see 20 incredible women whose existence is hard to believe, yet they are real. Rümeysa Gelgi from Turkey is the bearer of a rare diagnosis, Weaver syndrome, which leads to abnormal growth. Her height is more than 7 feet, over 2 meters. It is difficult for her to move, but she does not give up. Recently, Rümeysa, for the first time in her life, went across the ocean to the United States. For this, the airline had to remove several seats to set up her special place. Her journey became a symbol. Despite limitations, she strives to live a full life and inspires millions of people not to give up in the face of difficulties. Elaine Davidson is a true phenomenon. She has more than 11,000 piercings, and it was this that brought her a Guinness record. But Elaine is not just a collector of jewelry. She is a master of tattooing, hair braiding, aromatherapy, and she even stages spectacular shows. She walks on coals, lies on glass or nails. Each of her performances is a challenge to human possibilities. Elaine turns her body into a living work of art, proving boundaries exist only in our imagination. The story of Maria Jose Cristerna from Mexico is a story of liberation. After she left a destructive relationship, Maria decided to express her inner strength through extreme body modifications. Fangs, titanium implants in the shape of horns, a split tongue, dozens of piercings and tattoos made her the holder of a Guinness record for the greatest number of body modifications. Many judged her, called her a monster, but she did not stop. For her, appearance became a form of protest and a symbol of freedom. She shows the world everyone has the right to be themselves and to follow their own path, even if it differs from familiar standards. The story of Tamara Walcott from the United States is an example of how willpower can change a life. She once struggled with excess weight and food addiction, but one day she chose sports. Tamara came to powerlifting and literally rebuilt herself. In July 2022, she set a world record for the women's deadlift. She lifted 639 pounds, that is almost 290 kilograms. Her achievement thundered around the world, from CNN and ESPN to the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Tamara proves nothing is impossible if there is a goal and perseverance. Today, she shares her experience at motivational meetings and inspires thousands of women to believe in their strength. Beatrice Pugliese was born with a rare skin condition, a giant nevus covering up to 80% of her body. From early childhood, she faced mockery and hurtful nicknames. She was offered surgeries to remove the spots, but she refused. Beatrice decided to accept herself as she is. Today, she openly tells her story and has become an example of courage for others. Her life is a reminder that beauty comes in different forms, and everyone deserves respect, no matter what their appearance may be. Gauri Kazanji from India is a woman whose achievements amaze despite her tiny height, only about 2 feet and 7/10 of an inch. Her uniqueness brought her 2 entries at once in the Guinness World Records, as the shortest mobile woman in the world and the smallest actress, thanks to a role in American Horror Story. Yes, she had to face ridicule and prejudice, but she did not allow it to break her. On the contrary, Gauri became a symbol of strength of spirit and optimism. She proves that appearance is only a shell, and the most important thing in a person is their actions and attitude toward life. Sarah Gertz from Minneapolis was born with a rare genetic condition, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Because of it, her skin lost elasticity and looks wrinkled, as if that of an elderly person, although the girl is just over 20. Instead of hiding herself from the world, Sarah decided to go into modeling. Her photos, without retouching, openly showing her features. She seeks to show beauty comes in different forms, and it is precisely diversity that makes us real. Her courage inspires hundreds of people who also live with unusual diagnoses. If you have seen the film John Wick 3, then you surely remember how spectacular the Indonesian martial art pencak silat can be, but real life is no less impressive. The young internet sensation Chincha Chandra Naya literally blew up the web with her lightning-fast strikes. Her videos collect millions of views. She attacks so quickly that viewers argue, is this technique real, or is it just accelerated filming? Skeptics doubt, fans are delighted, but one thing is absolutely clear. Her mastery leaves everyone speechless. The tradition of inserting large clay or wooden plates into the lips among the women of the Mursi and Surma tribes in Africa has always evoked amazement among outsiders. For Europeans and Americans, this may look strange or even frightening, but for the women of these tribes themselves, it is a symbol of beauty, maturity, and belonging to their people. The process of stretching the lips takes months and sometimes years. For many girls, this is a real rite of passage and a source of pride that they continue the tradition of their ancestors. Today, fewer and fewer young women decide on this path, but while it lives, it remains an important part of culture that should not be condemned, but respected. Imagine, you are sitting in class, listening to the teacher, and suddenly you instantly fall asleep. This is exactly how Belle Hutt lives. At 17, she was diagnosed with narcolepsy. This is a rare brain disorder that causes sudden sleep attacks, paralysis, constant fatigue, and even hallucinations so vivid that it is difficult to distinguish them from reality. Belle admits, often it seems to her as if she lives in constant sleep, now falling asleep, now waking up. And although the disease is frightening, she has learned to look at it with irony. She even shoots videos where she shows how she unexpectedly falls asleep. Scientists are still looking for new methods of treating narcolepsy, but for now, Belle, by her example, reminds us, even when the body fails, it is important not to lose one's sense of humor and strength of spirit. Imagine, no burns from the stove, no torment from a toothache, and even childbirth without suffering. This is how Jo Cameron from Scotland lives. She was found to have a rare gene mutation that makes her insensitive to pain and fear. Surgeries without anesthesia, injuries she did not even notice. All this became normal for her. But her gift has another side. Jo does not feel the body's warning signals. She did not know that her arthritis had reached a dangerous stage until she lost the ability to walk. Scientists hope that her case will help create new painkillers for millions of patients. And Jo herself says with a smile, "I have irritated people all my life by being too happy and forgetting everything. Now I have an excuse." Ayanna Williams from Texas devoted almost 30 years to growing the longest fingernails in the world. Her claws reached a total length of more than 7 meters, and keeping them in order was a real trial. 2 bottles of polish and about 20 hours of care procedures each time. In the end, she entered the Guinness World Records, and her nails are exhibited at the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in Florida. This is a symbol of unbelievable patience and persistence, because such a record can be held only thanks to boundless determination. In Russia, she is called the Amazon. Natalia Kuznetsova is the most massive and strong female bodybuilder in the world. Her weight is more than 102 kilograms, her height is almost 2 meters, and the circumference of her biceps is more than 18 inches. She began strength training at the age of 14, and since then has won dozens of championships in bench press, deadlift, and arm lifting. Natalia speaks openly about the use of sports pharmacology, but her records and physical power still command respect. Today, she not only continues to compete herself, but also helps others. She works as a coach and inspires girls around the world not to be afraid to be strong. The story of Joy Milne from Scotland sounds like the plot of a science fiction film. She discovered that she can determine Parkinson's disease by the smell of the skin. It all began when Joy sensed an unusual musky aroma from her husband long before doctors made the diagnosis. Scientists from Manchester were astonished by her gift and began to work with her. As a result, they managed to identify a whole group of molecules associated with this disease. Now, this phenomenon may become the basis for early diagnosis of Parkinson's and help thousands of people. Joy became a true discovery for medicine. Her unique sense of smell saves lives. Supatra Susaphan from Thailand, whom her loved ones affectionately call Nettie, was born with the rare Ambrose syndrome, known as the werewolf syndrome. Hair covers her entire body and face. The disease is extremely rare. Only a few dozens of cases have been recorded in the world throughout history. Despite ridicule and bullying at school, Nettie did not give up. She even entered the Guinness World Records as the hairiest girl in the world. Today, she is learning to accept herself and shares her story so that other children with differences feel more confident. This story took place in Thailand. A woman suffers from a rare disease because of which her hands and arms became incredibly swollen and heavy, as if made of lead. Even combing her hair or washing her face turns into a real torment. Since childhood, she hid herself from society, but later she was forced to leave isolation to support her parents. Doctors proposed amputation, but she refused. Despite dozens of surgeries, the disease remains incurable, and yet she continues to fight. Her story is filled with resilience and reminds us, strength of spirit can endure even the heaviest burden. Originally from Russia, Julia Vins received the nickname Muscle Barbie. Her doll-like face and powerful bodybuilder physique made her a worldwide sensation. She came to the gym as a teenager to become more confident and quickly realized her strength goes far beyond ordinary training. By the age of 20, Julia had already won world powerlifting titles and set a number of records. She proved that appearance does not prevent one from being strong and beautiful at the same time. Today, Julia is a symbol of the combination of femininity and true athletic power. The concluding story is about Chanel Tapper from California, the holder of the longest tongue in the world. Its length is almost 4 inches, that is almost twice the usual. Chanel can touch her nose, her ear, and even her eye with her tongue, which brings the audience into complete delight. She gladly shares her unusual gift online, but always with a sense of humor and without lewd innuendo. Her record is yet another proof that the human body is capable of astonishing. The Briton Mandy Sellers lives with an extremely rare disease, the Proteus syndrome. Because of it, her legs grew to enormous sizes and weighed almost 120 kilograms, which made movement almost impossible. Doctors could not find a treatment for a long time until they began experimental therapy that helped reduce the weight of her legs by 1/3. Despite surgeries and even the amputation of one leg, Mandy does not give up. Moreover, her body surprised scientists. The amputated leg began to grow again. She shares her story to draw attention to rare diseases and instill hope in others. Julia Guntel, known as Zlata, is originally from Germany and became famous for her phenomenal flexibility. She has repeatedly appeared in the Guinness World Records, whether for an incredible number of roses lifted by her teeth in a backbend, or for the speed with which she opened bottles with her feet. Her records astonish even those who have worked their whole lives in the circus or in sports. But most importantly, Zlata turned her gift into art, showing that the human body is capable of more than we are used to thinking. Here they are, 20 incredible women, each of whom is unique in her own way. Some break stereotypes, others inspire courage, and still others prove that limitations exist only in the mind. Their stories remind us, the world is far more diverse than we are used to thinking, and there is always room for the astonishing within it.